Folks, apparently I'm a prophet because I mentioned in the last video that I would be back with another video if there was any news regarding Tyler1. It was an offhanded joke at the end of the last video, and what happens, listen, 24 hours later, Tyler1 officially announces that he's going to be parting ways with T1. Now, granted, in that last video, I was talking about exclusivity contracts with big-time streamers, signing on to particular platforms, but still, I'm taking credit for this one, but regardless, let's get into the story that is. Once again, T1 has officially announced that Tyler1 will no longer be part of the org. He's a free agent once again. So let's discuss what we know about the situation and what that means for Tyler1 moving forward. T1 tweeted the news themselves, as you can see here, along with a beautiful send-off bit, heartwarming piano music in the background and all.
I did it, he has to do it. Oh, I did it! What's up, yo? What's up, T-Dog? I'm the greatest of all time! Mid-diff, it's the Mammoth Man!
Pass close to the legs, upright.
Hey, see you. Nice talking to you.
Be happy. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Tyler1 also addressed this departure on stream, talking about the situation a little bit and expressing the fact that this was an amicable split on both sides, that there was no drama or controversy involved, but of course, that did not stop people from immediately speculating on exactly that, whether or not there was some sort of inciting incident behind him being dropped behind the scenes and being presented as a split. Like I said, he's stating that that's not the case, T1 is saying that's not the case, so let's take a look at the clip in question and see what we can glean from it.
Yeah, so we are officially off. T1. Sad day, guys. Sad day. There's no reason. It's mutual. There's no reason. Specifically. It's like corporate talk. I am not a brand. It was not because I'm a brand risk. Actually, it's not.
Now, if you know anything about Tyler1, you know he's a somewhat controversial figure. He's been called toxic, excessive, and all sorts of other things for a long while. And while a lot of his fans would say that he's been through a redemption arc of sorts in terms of his persona, has cleaned up his act a lot, and he has certainly gained a lot more mainstream, a lot more prominent a position amongst the other big name streamers. He's done a lot of collab work. He has bonded a lot with other people in the community in ways that suggest that he's really more on the up and up than his reputation preceding him would imply. Although this does not stop some from presuming that this split is once again related to some sort of incident on his behalf or even his general persona. Some people think that his public criticisms of T1's league team when they lost in Worlds was a step too far, that the org decided to drop him for that. Others seem to think that his frequent profanities or generally PG-13 content has pushed him out, despite the fact that he's no more vulgar now than when they signed him in the first place, so that theory seems a little thin. Ultimately, it's impossible to know the behind-the-scenes talk in matters like this, so all we have is the public word to go on, and both sides are saying that the split is on good terms. That leaves Tyler1 for the time being a free agent. Given his notoriously harsh streaming schedule with 10 hours plus streams to hit his Twitch requirements on his contract, which usually have him hitting over 50 hours a week, I think it's safe to say he's doing impressive numbers all on his own. So maybe he won't need to be looking for another org to jump to anytime soon. At the same time, he's talked before about how hard living by such an extreme grind is on his health. He's talked about potentially retiring in the past because it's so excessive. He has a lot of love for what he does and really enjoys it and wants to live up to the expectations of his community. But at the same time, it might be good for him to consider another thing to jump to where he can hopefully ease off a little bit on his regular day-to-day, although he certainly wasn't slowing down his pace when he was with T1. Like I said, everything up in the air for now. And so once again, I turn things over to you, the viewer. How do you feel about this announcement? Could this be good for Tyler1? Is this bad news for him one way or another? Is this really going to affect the kind of content we can see out of him? I know a lot of people are speculating that some of his stuff like the Power meeting event, where we saw him breaking his own deadlifting records, might not be as possible without some strong financial backing from an org like T1. This may have an impact on the content moving forward. What do you think about that? And do you think that there is anything to this split between Tyler1 and T1? Do you think that really is just they decided to part ways? Let me know in the comment section down below one way or another. And if the next time that I accidentally speak into Power news about another figure, I'll be back, of course, with another video just like this time. But for right now, that's all I've got for you. Thank you for dropping by once again. Until next time, have yourselves a beautiful day.